Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are currently in a bit of an awkward predicament here. And that awkward predicament is we don't actually have a whole lot that we can do right now. As in, I guess these ransoms are fine, but we can, come down over here and try to spend some money, I suppose. That is a thing we could do. We don't have much we can do for expansion, because of course we don't have much for de jure claims left. I believe we still have one against France, but I think we're truced with them. We can double check that as soon as we're done getting these structures building. So that'll all be fine. Oh, we do have a dynasty legacy we can get. That's nice. Natural schemers sounds good to me. This ransom is acceptable as well. Okay, cool. So Italy is, in theory, under our control. Emphasis on in theory. There's still a lot that depends. What did we get there? Control level goes down by 5. Okay, I'm not too concerned about that. So we get all of those constructions built, and Italy is, at this point, set up correctly. In theory, she is still our primary heir. They're apparently attacking the Riga Emirate in the Italian de jure war. Sure. Are we truced with France? We are. I would love to seize this de jure county from them. It's literally only the one county. This duchy. There we go. I'd love to seize that duchy from them. And this guy, he demands an artifact. We decline. We've got additional taxes that come in. And we just don't have much that we can do out over this way right now. So we need to think about getting a situation with France under control. What can we do here? Well, them being on male-only succession makes things very awkward for us for sure. And the fact that this guy is compassionate, not this guy, this guy is compassionate and just, that means that we have a really, really hard time killing people. So that's not necessarily great for what we've got going on here with this pacifist play. I would love to do something about Bohemia, but we just don't have much to do here. We really don't. So this pretty much just is what it is. I don't think we have anything that we can do to Leinster here. No. We don't have anything that we can do to Alba or Ireland either. So yeah, we're pretty much just chilling. That's all we've got. We just inherited a county. We don't necessarily need that county. But we were under our limit here, our domain limit. So that seems fine. I think we'll hold it. We could also potentially hold, Gotland, but that is a duchy of its own. We'd have to destroy the Duchy of Visby to hold that. It's a possibility. We don't have a direct vassal there, though, so that's not going to be a thing. We're definitely not going to do that. At least not right now. We would need to look into, who would we have to pull that from? Finland? I wanted to revoke a vassal, not a title. Retract vassal. Okay. He would accept this. We would gain 80 stress because we're just. And in all honesty, this is not the best place for us to take anyway. So I think for now we're just going to call this good. And we'll take... we don't really need cash. We really don't. I would normally, in this situation, go into intrigue, but this guy's really bad at intrigue because he's compassionate and just. So I think instead, we're going to have to go for, a scholarship focus here and target scientific. We do have a lifestyle perk regardless, and we'll take... I don't think we can use extort subjects either without having huge stress boosts there. So that's not really a great option. I think we'll just take Hergeld. We'll call that good. And switching off does mean we can no longer hold our title out over here. We're going to need to hand that off. That's good. I'm glad about that, actually. So that's completely fine. Okay. Checking in on the state of Italy. this looks fine for the moment. This guy's losing his war. Very silly of him. And both Burgundy and Bohemia are on house seniority. Yeah, there's just not much we can do about that. So at this point, what can we do? We can start looking at claimants. I mean, I wouldn't mind France's claimants here. This guy has an unpressed claim. He would not come to our court, though. We could just go to our decisions here and invite claimants and see who shows up. Let's give it a go. What can we lose from that? I mean, we lose 1,500 prestige that we're not really able to spend, so I don't really care about that. Hello. What are you? Well, we don't have a de jure on them. We might once we get Italy. Yes, we would have a de jure on them once we get Italy. So that would be good. Someone with a claim on the Kingdom of Alba. I doubt we can press that. On an earldom? Kingdom of Navarra, huh? I mean, that's currently held by France, so that's not really useful. None of those claimants are particularly useful currently. We'll see what else we get. Okay, this guy's currently 7. So we've got 9 more years. She will be 30. Sure, that should be okay. We did just discover Renaissance thought, and what else do we have going on? Promissory notes? I mean, that's not awful. We need bombards, and sappers, and standing armies, and plate armor. Everything in military is super important. Anything else over here is not tremendously important. I mean, pressing multiple de jure claims wouldn't be awful. Rightful ownership wouldn't be bad, but it's pretty much just everything in the military tab here that we're super interested in. Now, we do have a dangerous faction brewing here. Since we have basically nothing else going on, I'm strongly tempted to just let them fire so that we can imprison them and not have to deal with them later. There's also a Liberty faction here. King of Germany. He's the main problem there. We can probably do something about this guy. Maybe? Yes. Okay. We get rid of the Liberty faction here. And we allow the Independence faction to fire. That's what I'm thinking right now. We are on absolute crown authority. And we'll keep an eye on that Liberty faction. Wait. The Independence faction dropped there. No, I want you guys to fire. Please fire. Hopefully they'll fire. The Liberty faction is currently too weak. People are joining that. I want them to join the Independence faction. One thing we could do is try to provoke the faction. And the way we do that is, like, try to imprison him. But, man, we're just incompassionate. We can't do that. 160 stress. Yikes. I mean, we could do it. But we shouldn't. We definitely shouldn't. Yep, I was hoping that this faction would fire. It may yet, to be clear. It may yet fire. The Liberty faction, I think, is donezo. So that's great. We're very happy about that. I guess we may as well call a hunt here. No real problem. May you grow to be strong and wise, my daughter. Speaking of daughters, what do we got going on here? Okay, no changes there. Sounds good. In France. I would love to see that male-only succession law go away. How would we go about doing that? The best way would be to somehow... Well, we would want to have a female on our throne, right? And then we could get that set up. Our problem there is that our succession laws are on primogeniture male preference. We could switch over to, like, equal. Our faith does not allow the equal doctrine, and our culture does not have a cultural tradition that allows equal. Ah, well, this will give us something to do. The Pope is calling a crusade for Lotharingia again. Okay. Because that went so well last time. Well then. Okay. We'll allow that to come through. Once again, we're probably just going to go after the Pope over here. And let's see. How long until our bombards? 10 years on that. We do have this independence faction brewing, and we don't want this independence faction to fire with the crusade going on. So instead, we should look to deal with this guy. We can do something like this, and that should eliminate that faction. We shouldn't have any problems with that. I was willing to fight that faction, but now that the crusade has been declared, I think we're going to hold off on that one. So we will raise up our troops. Not there. We will raise up our troops over here like we did previously, and we're just going to attack the Papal State. But we're not going to need to raise up our troops for a few months here. Our men-at-arms would in theory take 4 months to raise. I don't think it would actually take that long. 27 days. Okay. Sounds good. Just wanted to check how long it would take our men-at-arms to turn up. Our wife has encouraged chivalry. Good for her. And this crusade is going to fire in 6 months. I like it. This guy became our spy master. He must have used a hook to do that. We can demand a payment from this guy. I guess that's fine. Oh, we have too many held duchies. We have this duchy here. We should not have this duchy. We're going to grant that over to this fine gentleman. That's not a recently acquired one. I just completely missed it. There we go. I also want to double check our succession. Yeah, primogeniture puts us completely fine on succession. And that is absolutely wonderful. So this crusade is going to be declared in 4 months right now. 28 April 397 is when it starts. Cool. 3 months. 2 months as of now. Okay. Once it's 30 days, we will start raising. Okay. 30 days. We're going to raise our men-at-arms. We're going to raise some levy troops. How many do they have overall? Okay. 251,000. We're probably not going to need anywhere near that much, though. Okay. We get a learning lifestyle perk here. We'll take scientific. And this is sufficient for now. We can raise up more later. The Pope is almost certainly going to hire mercs and holy orders, but that's fine. Like I said, we can raise up more later. Launches in 2 days, and we'll come on down over here. Rally the troops. The crusade for Lotharingia has fired. And is the Pope leading any of these armies personally? No, the Pope is in Rome. We're going to fight these guys here. And they're pretty much just ignoring us and heading up towards the war goal. Sounds good. So we're going to put in a siege leader here. I'm also going to... Oh, this is a lot of stress. Yikes. Okay. We're going to split off a few of our levy troops here. And these levy troops are going to head down over this way and start a slow siege here. It's a low-level fort. And that'll be fine. I guess we could become a drunkard, but that's actually pretty bad. We'll go improvident. That'll be kind of better. So we've got all of these guys that are going to join, and they're going to defend Lotharingia for now while we go on the offensive here. I'm also going to... Well, I was thinking about splitting this force in half. We did get a small breach here. Okay. Well, we are getting some siege progress, and this will be done in 16 months, but I just wanted to get that started. I also want to split off a few extra troops here to go start slow sieges in each of these locations. just because we're not being threatened, and I want to get this done faster. So something like that. We could try to give siege commanders to each of these. If we have enough, we can see. What do we got? Yep, siege commander here, and siege commander. Perfect. So we won that one battle. That's fine. And we're going to get the Papal State fully occupied eventually. We do see that our allies are coming in, and they're likely bringing siege weapons. So that's completely fine. Cool. Our allies are all grouping up on us, which I don't love. We're going to have to come up here and fight, but for the time being, this is fine. The Crusade for Lotharingia is going to be obnoxious, but it's okay. So 45 days left here, 9 days left here. I like it. These guys will move on up over this way. And then we'll head in over here. Cool. We've got a breach here. 9 months. I was hoping that our allies would help out here a bit. They don't seem to be too interested. I was also hoping that we would capture the Pope. Sadly, we didn't. And these guys are being jerks again. Can we do anything here? Yes. Done. Fantastic. Alliance formed with the King of Sicily. We've got 45 days left here and 5 months left here. Okay. So these guys are going to start heading north as soon as they're done with this siege. We're going to need to defend Lotharingia. So there's that done. We are going to make our way up over this way. We'll arrive there in 4 months. We will pay embarking fees, but that's okay. We're not too concerned about cash at the moment. And these guys are going to finish up their siege in 3 months. Cool. We could assault this fort, and actually we're going to. I think that's completely fine. And then we're going to bring our troops up here as well. How much attrition are we going to take going through Burgundy? Actually, none. Burgundy is not in this war. I like it. So up we go. And we're going to group these guys together right here. Nope. You can group together. I guess we'll group together here instead. Sure. We'll group them together. And we're going to head up over this way. And it looks like we are going to require additional troops. So we're going to bring those up because all of our allies are way down here right now. So we're going to bring in some additional troops here. And how many are we going to bring? This should be sufficient. We're going to group these guys together and come up over this way. We are attempting to stop them from sieging over here. All of our allies are on the way, and that's great. We'll group this force together. And looks like we're going to get some battles here. That's good. That's incredibly good. That's a stack wipe. Exotic arms, huh? Nope, not right now. So they're piling in here, but our reinforcements are arriving. So this is great. At this point, I want to split off a siege force. So we're going to have our trebuchets and some levy troops here. They're going to come down and start sieging over here. We need a siege commander for that. These guys, they are going to continue trying to chase down these armies. I'd like to not get too far away from these guys. Well, actually, what I'd really like is for our allies to defend our siege force, while we go a bit on the offensive here. That would be ideal. But I doubt that's going to happen. There's a lot of little armies, and we want to head up over this way. And just siege back these areas. That is our primary goal right now. We do not fight anyone here. We're going to attempt to chase them up over this way-ish. Okay, we won that siege back. We're going to go grab this one. And what do we got going on up here? There is a big battle happening. They have reinforcements piling in, so do we. And we're just ahead in that. Cool. We finish up this siege. And we are going to head up here next. Excellent. We've cut off their reinforcements with our reinforcements. We're going to make our way down this direction. Catch another force and stack wipe them. And for now, we can park over here. And we can just slow siege that. Okay. So we siege this back. And then we'll head up over, I guess, over this way? That'll do. We're actually at 95% war score right now. That's insane. Well, this battle finishes. The war's over. We already won this crusade. 99% from battles. I like it. We'll enforce those demands. Sounds good. So, that is done. We'll take a look at Italy. This is still set up correctly. She has lover's pox, which is, you know, non-ideal. That is non-ideal for sure, but that can be inherited. Was it? That was... No. We wanted to look at these people. Like, her parents. I believe, yes, the lover's pox was inherited. Okay. Sounds good. We'll disband our troops. We are out of here. And that is acceptable. Cool. Now there is another faction brewing up here. And this faction is what? Independence? I think that was the Independence faction very briefly. I don't think that's actually going to fire, but we'll see. Hang on a moment. Isn't this guy the heir to the Kingdom of France? Why, yes. Yes, he is. We decline. Okay. So what are we going to do with this guy? We could recruit him and demand his conversion and gain a hook on him. Well, almost gain a hook on him. They are unlikely to have additional children. So we negotiate that release. Okay. So this guy's in our court now. He does already have children, but we converted him over. Interesting. I'm not sure what we want to do with this guy yet. But we have him. He has... Wait. I know what we can do. He has an implicit claim here. What we can do is we can press his claims on the Kingdom of France. We don't really care too much about the rest of these. He wouldn't get all of this. Or we could come up with some sort of a scheme where we tell him, we will support you if you get rid of that male-only law once you become King of France and inherit all of this. Because we can only press the claim on one of these titles because they have multiple kingdom-level titles. So we would need this guy to die. But I think that's okay. We have him in our court now that we captured him in battle, but we recruited him, converted him to our religion. And once he takes over, we can give him our support in exchange for getting rid of that male-only succession. And the question is, would he agree to that? That's not something that's modeled in the game, right? That's not a thing. But maybe if he has a high enough opinion of us, once that happens. I feel like he wouldn't accept that deal right now. We could maybe send him a gift for 13 opinion, but I think that what we need to do is we need to work on swaying this guy. So we sway him, and if his opinion is above, I don't know, maybe like 85 when he takes over, then he'll be willing to do that deal. Something along those lines. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see how that ends up going. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Rose Valentine, Nick Smarty, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.